Good morning. It's Monday morning again. And I don't know about you, but I had a pretty good weekend. But today I got a list of things I gotta do. And yeah, well, I don't know about you, but I'm a procrastinator. You probably won't do that like me. Having a list of things to do and then saying, well, this thing I can do tomorrow also. So let's do it tomorrow. And tomorrow you will say the same. And so you put it off for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. But procrastination is also knowing what to do, what next step will take you to your success, to your goal, and then allowing yourself to get distracted. Well, I was a big procrastinator myself. Eh? I'm not saying you are, but I am. So, yesterday we were at this playground. It's called Woeste Willem. And if I should translate that, the playground's name, it would be something like Ferocious Willem or Wild Bill, or something like that. And it's situated at the river in our town. And as you can see, the water level in the river is pretty high and the playground is partially on the water. We had fun nevertheless. And it was the first time for our little one to be there. So she had a lot to discover. And while I was there were several things that came to mind. Well, like the river, I like the notion that you have a river of life and you choose one and you jump in. And the only thing you have to do is lay back and let the flow take you away. But what we do in life is something different. We step in, we get cold feet, we get out again. So we don't progress. And if we do, we get into the water. That river sometimes will flow at a very slow rate. And sometimes you're in the rapids. And if you are in the rapids, you want to slow down. And if the river goes too slow, you want to speed up. And so when you start swimming to go faster than your river does, you'll get tired. If you start swimming because you want to go slower than your river does, you'll get tired. And that's what we do in life. A river takes us somewhere and you get cold feet, you want to procrastinate, you want to put things off, and that's going to frustrate you. That's going to tire you out. It will burn you out. It may even cause depression and all that. So I learned the hard way to just lay down on my back in the flow of the river and let me sweep away. Sometimes very slow, too slow for my liking. But I know that's good for me. And sometimes it goes very fast, very rapid. And when you realize you only have to do one thing, it's only one thing you got to do. If there's a rock somewhere in that river, you want to know if you go that way or that way. That's the only decision you have to make to get to the end of the river where it flows into the enormous ocean. But sometimes we're just pumping water into that river. And that's folly. It's fun for my daughter, but for us it's folly. And there was also, on this playground, there was this boat. And we got in there, of course. But this boat was fast aground. It would never float anywhere. It was there for the playground, of course. They even had chains on it with concrete, so if the river would get any higher, it wouldn't be swept away. So that got me thinking about procrastination, because procrastination is a habit. And that habit comes from somewhere, and it really doesn't matter why it's there. And there's only one thing you got to break the habit. I learned a lot from Presenter Mastery, and for my business I have to invite a lot of people. So I did that last 2 weeks, and I did that in a different way. And you know the saying, if you do what you always did, you're gonna have what you always got. And now I did it differently, more successfully. I got responses. So many responses. People want to make an appointment. But then procrastination sets in. It's an old feeling. And for me that is, oh my God, I got success. How do I get all those appointments in my agenda? Even when it's empty, I would get that response from old. But I know something has changed, so today I will do something different. I don't know how about you. But the way I look at it, those things that run us aground, that keep us from floating in our river of life, that are the blocks of concrete, the anchors that keeps us stationary on the spot that we are in our comfort zone. They're just memories, saying this is the way how it has to be. It can't be different. Well, that memory has to be replaced with a new memory. And that new memory you only can get if you engage. If you get involved in what you got to do, if you take that first step you need, that first step that will bring you further, that will bring you closer to the goal, that's where your heart ticks for, where your passion is, where your love is, where your ikigai is, the thing you wake up for every morning. In doing so, I can only say, get in that boat. Look what is holding you in place, what keeps you in ground. It keeps you grounded. What can you get rid of to get afloat again? How can you push that boat again into your river of life? And don't forget to enjoy the ride. I wish you all a nice week, a successful week. And tell me what you think about this. And share if you are a procrastinator too. Because I think everybody is some way, somehow. You just take the next step.